The committee's study of the Central Intelligence Agency's Detention and Interrogation Program is a report compiled by the bipartisan United States Senate Select Committee on Intelligence about the Central Intelligence Agency's Detention and Interrogation Program and its use of torture during interrogation in U.S. government communiqués on detainees in CIA custody. The more than 6,700-page report, including 38,000 footnotes, details the history of the CIA's detention and interrogation program and the committee's 20 findings and conclusions. On December 9, 2014, the SSCI released a 525-page portion that consisted of key findings and an executive summary of the full report. It took more than 5 years to complete. The full unredacted report remains classified. Today's summary: a year after detention site COBALT opens, the CIA reports unsettling discovery. In the fall of 2003, CIA officers began to take a closer look at the CIA detainees being held in country redacted, raising concerns about both the number and types of detainees being held by the CIA. CIA officers in country redacted provided a list of CIA detainees to CIA headquarters, resulting in the observation by CIA headquarters that they had not previously had the names of all 44 CIA detainees being held in that country. At the direction of CIA headquarters, the station in country redacted completed an exhaustive search of all available records in an attempt to develop a clearer understanding of the CIA detainees. A December 2003 cable from the station in country redacted to CIA headquarters stated that, quote, "In the process of this research, we have made the unsettling discovery that we are holding a number of detainees about whom we know very little. The majority of CIA detainees in country redacted have not been debriefed for months, and in some cases for over a year. Many of them appear to us to have no further intelligence value for the CIA and should more properly be turned over to the U.S. military, to country redacted authorities, or to third countries for further investigation and possibly prosecution. In a few cases, there does not appear to be enough evidence to continue incarceration, and if this is in fact the case, the detainees should be released." End quote. Records indicate that all of the CIA detainees have been kept in solitary confinement. The vast majority of these detainees were later released, with some receiving CIA payments for having been held in detention. End summary. In a 2016 CBS News report, headliner, "Prison officials visited CIA dungeon but kept no record of the trip." The Bureau of Prisons has acknowledged for the first time that 2 of its officials have traveled 14 years ago to a secret CIA detention site in Afghanistan, where they provided training to staff at a facility once described by an intelligence official as the closest thing he has seen to a dungeon. The admission came Thursday in response to a lawsuit filed by the ACLU, which sued in April after the Bureau of Prisons denied having any record of involvement with the detention site. The Bureau of Prisons' November 2002 visit to the site, known interchangeably as the Salt Pit and COBALT, was documented in a Senate Intelligence Committee report on torture, interrogation, and detention, which was released in 2014. The report notes that prison officials determined the site was not inhumane, despite seeing detainees who were forced to stand for days naked and shackled to walls in total darkness. In a facility that was described to be 45 degrees Fahrenheit, loud music played around the clock and the detainees were given only buckets for their waste. The CIA asked for the Bureau of Prisons inspection because agents worried conditions were too harsh for them to elicit reliable intelligence, according to the Senate report. Some detainees literally looked like dogs that had been kenneled, one interrogator said, according to the Senate report. When the doors to the cells were opened, they cowered. During the prison officials' visit, one detainee, Gul Rahman, died from apparent hypothermia, naked except for a sweatshirt, the report said. Rahman was well known in Afghanistan after an earlier incident in which he rescued the country's president, Hamid Karzai, while wading through rocket and small arms fire. Prison officials said they were wowed and had never been in a facility where individuals are so sensory deprived, according to the Senate report. The Bureau of Prisons is a domestic law enforcement agency that does not have the authority to classify intelligence information. The agency explained in the legal filing on Thursday that the two officials who visited the detention site were told by the CIA, quote, that they were not permitted to discuss their participation in this training or to create or retain any records of the training or their involvement, end